You may know that ORIGO Education has gained a reputation for developing innovative products. Today I'd like to show you how to navigate through our latest innovation, Stepping Stones, a K-5 core mathematics program. To access Stepping Stones, simply go to this website. You will then be able to register for a free 30-day trial by clicking here. Once you receive the activation email, use the login information found in the email to enter in the username and password. Then simply click Login to go directly to the program. Once you've logged in, you should automatically be directed to the Stepping Stones page. If not, you can select the Channels button at the top and then select Stepping Stones. You can then select the Start button. Any teacher can access any of the content in grades K-5 by simply clicking on that specific grade level. Suppose I click on grade 2. Here you will see an overview of the 12 modules of work in the grade. Each module focuses on 2 to 3 big ideas. When I select Module 11, you see a number of options. Choose the Mathematics tab to get an overview of all the mathematics for that module. The focus shows you the key mathematics for this module. It is also where you will go to access the embedded professional development videos. To access the video, simply click on the Resources tab at the right and select the video you would like to watch. The Mathematics tab also contains information about the learning targets, the mathematical practices, and the language development in this module. There's also a letter to home that you can send to the parents to give them information on how they can help their students at home for this module. You also see the research into practice and the correlations, which gives you the information about the correlations for the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills and the English Language Proficiency Standards. Going back to the Module tab, the Resources Overview will provide a list of resources needed for this module. Now let's look at the lessons. By selecting Lessons, a list of the 12 lessons for the module will appear. Let's go ahead and look at Lesson 10. When I select the lesson, Steps, Differentiation, and Ongoing Practice show. To access the teacher's notes for this lesson, simply click on Steps. Once the teacher's notes have loaded, you can roll over the links icon at the right to display the Texas correlations for this lesson. The lesson itself is broken into 4 parts. Step 1, preparing the lesson. Step 2, starting the lesson. Step 3, teaching the lesson. And Step 4, reflecting on the work. For our purposes today, it isn't necessary to read through the entire lesson notes, but I do want to point out a couple of things. First, notice the use of the big book, The Pirate's Gold. Big books are used in many of the lessons in K1 and 2. Also, notice the use of the digital resource Flare Maths and Manipulatives. This is a digital tool available in Stepping Stones, and no preparation is required for this resource. Also notice the step in discussion and the projectable student journal here. When you're actually ready to teach the lesson, click on the Resources tab at the right to access the digital playlist of embedded resources for this lesson. To project the playlist of these resources, simply click on the Teach All tab. You will then be directed to the first resource in the playlist, in this case the Flare Maths and Manipulatives. Again, this is an interactive resource that has been pre-populated according to the lesson. To navigate to the next resource, use the Forward tab at the bottom right. The Step in Discussion resource is a projectable image of the top left-hand side of the students' journals and will help prepare the students for their work in their journals by projecting the key open-ended questions. The next resource is the projectable image of the color student journals. You can toggle between a 1- and 2-page view by using the middle tab at the bottom. Moving forward, the black and white version of the student journal is also projectable. To print, simply click on the Print tab at the bottom. The answers are also projectable within Stepping Stones. Because this lesson utilized a big book, the Big Book tool is also available for teachers to use to extend the content further. The Spanish version of the Step in Discussion is also available. The color student journal for Spanish is available, and the black and white is also available to print. The Spanish version of the answer key is also projectable within Stepping Stones. To exit out of the playlist, simply click the X tab at the bottom. Now that we've gone through a lesson, let's look at ways to differentiate instruction. By clicking the Lessons tab, you can then select Differentiation and be directed to a page that contains options for extra help, extra practice, and extra challenge. Clicking the Resources tab here will give you access to any of the resources needed for these activities. You can also utilize the navigation tool at the top right-hand corner. This navigation tool shows the lessons in a sequence of 3 lessons. We're currently working in the middle lesson, but by clicking on the lesson just before, you will automatically be directed to the prerequisite lesson on this big idea, even if it's at the grade level below. In fact, you can also utilize this down arrow to have access to all of the content strands across all of the grades. You can then hover over any grade and be shown the lessons for that grade in that particular content strand. You can then select any of those lessons and automatically be directed there. Now let's go back to the module and look at More Math and Assessment. Under the More Math tab, you will see Investigations, Problem-Solving Activities, and Cross-Curricular Links. Investigations are open-ended in nature and allow the students to collect, analyze, and represent data. There are 3 investigation activities for every module. There are also 3 problem-solving activities for every module centered around specific problem-solving strategies. Finally, the cross-curricular links take the mathematics and apply it to other key content areas like science, history, English language arts, and physical education. Under the Assessment tab, you will see Overview, Formative, Summative, Quarterly Tests, and Recording. The formative tests included in Stepping Stones are the pretest, observation and discussions, journal, and portfolios. The summative assessments include checkups, performance tasks, as well as interviews. Every 3rd module will also include quarterly tests. I hope this will help you get started in exploring stepping stones. You can always find out more information about stepping stones or our other resources by going to our website at www.origoeducation.com.